Welcome to our virtual back to school night. You may be listening to this on our actual night, which would be between 5:30 and 7 on Wednesday, August 26th. You may be listening to this earlier, which is fine. I will be available on Wednesday, the 26th, from 6:30 to 7 to answer any questions you have about this presentation. I'll be available in our virtual classroom. So just use your child's Gmail account and follow that link that they use to meet with me for a morning message or our closing at 11 or the small group chat. That's the same link. It's our virtual classroom, and I will be there from 6:30 to 7 on Wednesday, August 26th, to answer any questions you may have. You're also free to always reach out to me through email, and I can answer the questions just written on email, or I'm happy to meet virtually anytime that works for you as well. So that being said, we've been doing a lot of kind of get to know you things through the parents' messages in our playlist, and I really appreciate all your hard work. I know this is overwhelming. We're in this together, and I'm here to support you every way I can. And I thank you for your understanding and patience with me as well. I do have kindergarten and first grade, and so I spent a lot of time over the summer getting ready for kindergarten. First grade, although I have a lot of experience teaching first grade in person, it's the first time I've taught first grade online at all, and kindergarten for the entire year. So there's a rather big learning curve going on, and I appreciate your patience. And hopefully everything will get smoother as we go on. So one of the things that we were working hard on over the summer is this webpage. It is our whole website is designed for virtual learning. So it's a different one than we've used last year. So when you click on the bottom of my email, it will take you to our class homepage. And so on our class homepage, you have the kindergarten playlists, and you have the first grade playlist. Right now I have the science up. Eventually, actually, I'm going to delete these, and you will just access science through your playlist to kind of make it simpler for everyone. I have our class schedule. So kindergarten and first grade, we will meet in the morning at 8 o'clock. As you know, we'll have small groups. These are my small groups here. And then we will have our whole class closing. If you're feeling overwhelmed on a day or for a week or whenever that may be, because I realize it will happen, the main important time that your child can come to, the academic time, and really the best socio-emotional time too, because it's a nice small group, is their small group time. So if you can do nothing else, I'd like them to come to their small group time. That's when I take attendance. If they are not at the small group time, I have to mark them at least partially absent. And then the other thing that needs to be a priority are the playlists, which are our playlists up here. So if they are turning in their work from the playlists and they are coming to their small group time, they will get credit for full attendance. I'm hoping they can come to our opening. They're enjoying it. And our closing, we'll read a book and kind of talk about reading comprehension, really great for vocabulary and learning. So whenever they can make it, that will be great. This is our schedule Monday through Thursday. On Friday, it's kind of a prep day for the teachers. The playlists do take a lot of time. It's also a day for your child to kind of catch up and meet with any specialists that they may need to meet with. We will have our whole class opening at 8 a.m. And then the rest of the day is kind of yours to work through the playlist, catch up. Although kindergarten, everything's always due on Friday. First grade, there's the little icon that things in the playlist need to be turned in throughout the week. I am only going to look at it over the weekends. So that being said, if you just want to go turn everything in on Friday, that is totally fine. We're going to try to just turn them in to the playlists are also in Google Classroom, and the links to Google Classroom, if you're accessing the playlists through the website, there's links to the Google Classroom on the Friday. And when you need to turn things in, I have linked them. So if you click on that link, you'll go into your child's Google Classroom and you're going to turn it in to the playlist folder in the classroom. If you have questions with this, I will work with you on it. Unfortunately, my view of Google Classroom as a teacher and your view as the parent of a student are different. So I'm having trouble totally coaching you of how to navigate it. But it looks like most of you have turned in the work fine. So we're going to try from now on to just turn it into the playlist folder, so I can only assign one thing a week and keep your life a little simpler. If that doesn't work, I will rethink it. But we're going to try that this week. So once again, if you can do nothing else, small group time, do your playlist and turn in your work on Friday. Then you will get full credit. Now we also have some really fun extra things. Science with Mr. Reynez, awesome. Science is part of our required curriculum traditionally, and traditionally kindergarten and first grade do not get science from Mr. Reynez, who is our district specialist and usually only is able to meet with the older children. He is not meeting with us live in kindergarten and first grade, but he has wonderful playlists with videos for your child to use. So you can, once again, access them through our playlist, or there's a link to the science website, which I'll show you in a minute. Our class schedule. Again, science is asynchronous, which means there's no live time that you're going to meet with Mr. Reynez. You can just look at the playlist whenever you have time. PE for first grade is live on Wednesdays from 1 to 1:30 and Thursdays from 12 to 12:30. You can click on this link and your child will do PE activities with a PE specialist. Kindergarten, it is not live, but there is a playlist of kindergarten activities and I believe the PE teachers shared their Google Classroom with you. And then every other week we have circle time with our counselor. Kindergarten, this is your link. These are our kindergarten days that we have it, and it's at 11:30. I will remind you after our story on every other Tuesday to stay on, or actually you'll have to get off and get on her link if you can. First grade, same thing on Wednesdays though. So you'll follow this link, first grade, and my first graders will be meeting with Miss Winfrey's class as well. So I'm going to speak to kindergarten first, and then I'm going to speak to first grade. First grade, these are your resources here, and I am going to come back and talk about those. I'm going to go ahead and show the rest of the website to everyone and speak to kindergarten a little bit first, and then we will go back and look at the first grade resources. Class pages with personal links. So if you click on this, it's going to take you to a page that just looks like this. I have personally shared a slide with each of you. I don't want to click on them because it will open if I do, but if you click on them, it will only open if you click on your child's name. So if you click on your child's name, it will give you the little slide that I created with all their passwords for their accounts. So that is, if you can't find how to log into something, please refer to this. Now, the class contact list is only accessible from people in Castro Valley, so it's fairly private. And if you choose to come add your child's name and your name and any information that you would like to share with our class, that would be great, because then you can get a hold of each other. I cannot share your information with other people, so if you want to make any information available to the rest of our class, please add your name here. All right, now, so this is our class homepage, and I'll come back to it to talk about first grade resources. If you click on home up here on our website, it'll take you to the home page of the entire website. And these are all our kindergarten teachers and Mrs. Stalcup, who has kindergarten and first grade this year. And it will have important dates. This is our science website for both kindergarten and first grade, so you can click on that and it will take you to Mr. Reynez's science website. The kindergarten PE letter, which has more information about kindergarten PE. Our school tools kit, which I will talk about in just a second, and our grab and go lunch information. Now, the school tools kit is that white box that I gave everyone. I am expecting that that box is within reach of your child during our, while they're working on their playlist, and also during our synchronous time when they're meeting with me. Sometimes things happen as I'm teaching and I realize, oh, this would be a great opportunity for us to write on the whiteboard or to make a letter with Play-Doh. And so that is why I put all the tools into the kit so that your child can get them. On the kindergarten playlist, I have a list on the second slide, I believe, of little papers that the parents can help pull out of the folders. And if you pull those out in advance, it'll be easier for your kindergartner to work through their playlist independently. That is up to you. If you're sitting there with them the entire time, then you don't need to do it in advance. But if you are working or trying to help other children and they have their materials and they learn to follow through with the playlist, it would be very helpful if you pull the materials on that first slide of the playlist out in advance. That being said, I expect that their box is near them with their Play-Doh, their crayons, their Wiki sticks, their whiteboard, their math counters. They don't need their, if you've pulled everything else out in advance and you are going somewhere and you don't want to carry all the extra workbooks and things like that, you certainly don't need to. But I do expect that all the tools will be near them so that they can grab them during our work time. If you have any questions about that, please let me know and I can explain it better. Let me go back. Actually, let's just go through first. Okay, so then language arts, and this is, these are kindergarten standards right now. The first grade standards are under the first grade resources, so we'll go back. But this is kind of what we're going to focus on right now in kindergarten. So the first trimester of kindergarten will focus on reading and writing skills that will set your child up for a success through their school career. Actually, that is also true for first grade. In kindergarten, your child's going to learn to listen to and retell the beginning, middle, and end of a story. Same in first grade, but in first grade, we're going to review that a bit more and get better at telling it more independently. A lot of first grade is becoming more independent with kindergarten skills. So in kindergarten, we could expect as parents and teachers to help the children more. And in first grade, we're expecting more independence with these skills. So kindergarten is going to learn to identify letters and sounds. First grade should know that, and they should be starting to apply them. Kindergarten is learning to recognize some high frequency words. There's a list of 50 words, which I will show you for kindergarten. First grade, I will show you where your words are as well. Kindergarten needs to point to words as they read so that they develop one-to-one print-to-speech correspondence. A lot of times as children are looking at the pictures and thinking about what makes sense, which is a great skill for a beginning reader, they'll just keep reading along and they'll read more words than are actually on the page. So while they're learning to read, we encourage that they point to one word at a time. As first graders or kindergartners get to be pretty competent readers around the level E, then they may not need to point anymore, but for now, I would like them to point to every word as they read it. That's how we learn. They're going to learn to look at the picture and think about what makes sense as they read, to think about the beginning sounds as they read and write. First graders are going to be thinking about beginning, middle, and ending sounds. They're learning to track words from left to right, to use the proper pencil grip. There's a pencil grip in your school toolkit. And I encourage kindergarten and first graders to use it and really practice on strengthening and improving your pencil grip. And they're going to learn how to print lowercase letters using the proper letter formation. In kindergarten, we start with lowercase letters. A lot of times preschool starts with uppercase, but it's really important. The lowercase letters are actually used a lot more, so that will be our focus the first trimester of kindergarten. First grade is busy reviewing this now. In math, in trimester 1, the students are going, this is not math, this is still language arts. Students are going to identify at least 20 letters by name. They are going to have the concepts of print, which we talked about up above. They will identify at least 10 high-frequency words by sight. They will identify 10 letter sounds, write at least 10 letter names, write their first name independently by themselves, starting with an uppercase letter. All the rest of the letters should be lowercase. And they will label pictures with the initial sound with the help of a visual letter reference sheet. So in your language arts folder, I gave everybody, actually I gave you two. I gave you one alphabet with the foundations pictures, and I gave you one alphabet with our zoo pals, which are the, and they can use whichever one they would like. That is the reference sheet, and they should pull that out while they're writing and then work on that to label their pictures. We're not there yet, and I'll explain it more in the playlist as we get there. But first graders, you can use those reference sheets as well and work on writing with them. So then our language arts resources are down here. So if you click on guided reading, it will take you to our guided reading page. And I will add these books to our playlist, but if you'd like to work ahead or you want to see some books, you are totally welcome to go onto the guided reading page. So this kind of tells you how to do guided reading with your child. When first graders have bags of books already, and I would like you to follow these steps. Kindergartners don't yet, at least most of us don't, but we will. The best way to show a child how to read a book is to do a little bit of a pre-reading book talk where you talk about words that they might not know. They look at the pictures, they think about what makes sense. Then they read the book, pointing to the words. And then they talk about the story. They retell it. They think about the characters, the setting, the beginning, middle, and the end. And then it's always great to read the book many times. That helps with fluency. So if you click on these links, these are our level A, our very beginning books. Most of the kindergartners are not quite ready for this yet, but soon we will be. They'll be, it's me giving a little pre-reading book talk. Then when you click on the book will pop up. I've scanned it so you can actually read it. And then the retell will be a little post-reading book talk done by Mrs. Stalcup. So the level A books is where our kindergartners will be in the next month or so. Then we have level 2 or level B books, which are a little bit trickier. The level 4 books are even harder. I need to add into this. Most of our first graders are level C or D, and so I will continue. It takes a while to scan books and to put up the book talks, but this is a work in progress. I will be working on this, and I will add them to our playlist. You're also welcome to go back to our website to review. So then let's see. So you would go back home after you did this, and then you could go to reading comprehension. This talks about our fabulous 4 friends. These are from last year, but they're still fun to listen to. These are all our teachers, kindergarten teachers, and Mrs. Stalcup reading different books if your child would like to listen to more stories. And I will put some information about our fabulous 4 friends here as well. Whoops, I shouldn't have gone home. I should have gone back to our language arts, sorry. Okay, so phonics, this is how we sound out words when we're in our reading and writing. And so it has the letter sounds. These are the reference sheets, the Zoo Phonics reference sheet and the Foundations reference sheet that I was talking about. It's our song and a practice. I will put a link here. It looks like it's not linked right now. Also, you have a printed one, and if you lose it and you want to print another one, you can click here and print. Your child should have these available by where they work. It will help them with their reading and writing. They usually will respond to one better than the other. I teach both. This is Castro Valley's curriculum, what all kindergarten and first grade and second grade are using. This is a program called Zoophonics that I find the children respond to best, in my opinion. So I do both. There are letter sound activities. If you feel like your child needs more practice, come use our website. That's what it's here for. It gives you some ideas. They can practice making letters out of Play-Doh and Wiki sticks. We're doing that during our synchronous time, but you can also practice with them by yourself. You could, these are just different ideas and some videos that will practice with letters and sounds. Now, first graders and some kindergartners are working on CVC words. That's consonant, vowel, consonant. And that is, we'll start working on that the second trimester of kindergarten. It's also big the first trimester of first grade. So here's some activities you can do with it. Some other skills, some videos, sorry, with the different short vowels so that your child can watch. Rhyming is important. If your child needs practice rhyming, there's some activities and videos for rhyming. At the end of kindergarten, second and third trimester, we work on the digraphs, also big in first grade. So there's some games and some videos with the digraphs as well. Now, let's see, sight words. Remember, kindergarten is responsible for 10 sight words by the end of the first trimester. First grade, we will start practicing soon because your children are ready. But here are our kindergarten sight word list, our first grade sight word list. And there's flashcards if you would like to print more. I printed them for the kindergartners. First graders, I gave you a stack of 3x5 cards, and we are going to make our own as we introduce the sight words. So, and then there's some game ideas. It's fun to play games with the sight words. So there's a few different videos about some sight word game ideas and also more ideas of sight word games. And I will show these to your children as well, but you're welcome to go ahead and look at those. Now, math. Our focus the first trimester in math in kindergarten is understanding numbers from 0 to 10. And we expect mastery of the numbers 0 through 5. So your child's going to learn about writing, ordering, and recognizing numbers 0 through 10. They're going to work on identifying plain shapes, the names, circle, square, rectangle, triangle, hexagon. They're going to practice identifying numbers to 10 as having greater than, less than, or equal values to each other. So they're comparing groups. They're decomposing numbers less than 5 into parts. So if I said, there's 5 balls, 3 of them are red, how many are blue? They should be able to do that. They're figuring out what numbers we can use to make a 5. And they're going to add on to 5 to compose numbers 6 through 10. So they would know 5 and 2 make 7, or 5 and 4 make 9. This is, first graders are reviewing this concept right now. First graders are using number bonds to do that, and they're doing it both in their math workbook and also in with me. So by the end of the first trimester, kindergartners will be able to recognize and write numbers from 0 to 5 in and out of sequence. We'll be able to compare groups to 5, identifying if they have greater than, equal, or less objects. And they're going to decompose numbers less than or equal to 5. This is our math journal. Kindergartners are working in a math journal. If you ever need to print another page, you're welcome to click here and print it. And there's some extra resources here, kindergarten parents. Now, first grade parents, if you go back to our homepage, and kindergarten parents, stay on the line because we're going to talk about how much to help your children after this. But I want to show first grade parents where your resources are. So first grade, part of it is becoming more independent. and just really developing those kindergarten skills. So we're going to work quite well together. These are first grade math resources. So these are some videos that will help you. The first grade starts the Engage curriculum, which is the math book that you received. And it can be a little bit tricky to navigate at the beginning until you kind of get with the system. So these are some resources that the district put together for you. Now, these are the standards that first graders are going to be working on. So you're going to review these concepts so you can easily find a group of 5 within 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can group 5 and determine a sum up to 10. So you would be like 5 and 4 would make 9, or 5 and 1 would make 6. You can they're going to remind themselves of what a number bond looks like and be able to draw a picture and a number bond to match. Determine what one more of is than a number under 10. So if I said 8 and I wanted to know one more, they should be able to come up with 9 like that. They also should be able to, if they saw a group of, I don't know, 5, or let's do 4 and 2, they should be able to subsidize is they just know this is 4. They don't have to touch everyone. They just say 4 and then they count on 5, 6. So in kindergarten, a lot of times we would, if I showed them 4 and 2, they'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in first grade, we want them to say 4, 5, 6. It's called counting on. It's kind of just a quicker way to do numbers. They're going to be able to write number expressions, addition and subtraction sentences, write a number bond, and write a number sentence to show their thinking. So if I said there were 3 cats, 2 more came along, how many cats are there now? They could show me with a number bond, and they could show me with a number sentence. Then this is what we are going to be learning to do. So we're going to move on to bonds of 10, and we're going to be able to write all the number bonds of 10. So basically, still using our knowledge of numbers to 5 that we mastered in kindergarten, hopefully, and building them to 10, first graders. And we're going to be drawing a pictures, solving a lot more word problems in first grade than kindergarten. They're also going to use a picture to determine a missing atom. Kindergarten does not do this. It's a challenge in kindergarten, but first graders are starting. So if I said there's 10 cats, you can see 6 of them. How many cats, are missing or hiding? They would know that it was 4. We'll figure out ways to do it. It's also subtraction, but it also could be 4 plus blank equals 10, or I'm sorry, 6 plus blank equals 10. So it's the beginning of algebra. Also kind of along the beginning of algebra, they are learning that the equal sign just balances like a scale. So it doesn't have to be 4 plus 1 equals 5, or 5 equals 4 plus 1. It could be 1 plus 4 equals 2 plus 3. They balance. So we will work on this. And in first grade. So you can look at this more, first grade parents. Then language arts. These are the same links that are there on the other web pages. I just put them here. It will take you right back to the same pages I just showed you. And I will be expanding them with harder books, especially in the guided reading for first grade. Now, first graders, you're working on the reading and writing standards. Basically, we're taking your child from where they are now, and we're expanding their skills as far as we can get them. So they will become more confident readers, more confident writers. The goal at the end of the first trimester for first grade is a level F. This is a pretty ambitious goal. Reading is a big part of first grade. They will also be expected to write more independently. We'd like them to write 3 to 5 sentences independently. These are things that we talked about before with kindergarten. It's just more independent in first grade. So retelling a story in order, using the illustrations to describe how characters are feeling. First graders begin to read with more expression. They are reading CVC words more fluently, blending sounds together. Everything just kind of more independently. They're going to sound more fluent. So that being said, how much do you help your child? Well, that is going to be different for kindergarten families and first grade families. In kindergarten, I'm expecting that your child has their toolbox by them, and I will coach them through pulling out certain materials, but they are going to need your help to pull out their math or their writing and different things like that. They are probably going to need you to sit with them some of the time, but kindergarten parents, as tempting as it is to sit with them all the time, I don't want you to. You can be close by. They maybe can be at your kitchen table while you're cooking dinner, but you should not be sitting by them all the time. They should be able to start clicking through the playlist independently, maybe stopping to ask you to read something to them. And they should be able to do their work more and more independently. So even if it's a little harder at the beginning, you're going to just kind of try to keep stepping further and further away. First grade, hopefully your child's getting there already, but you should be able to not have to sit by them. So you might need to be near them. They're still very little, but you should be able to be doing something else in close proximity, and they should be able to click through the playlist and work independently. First graders should also be able to pull their own supplies out of their toolbox. So whereas kindergarten parents might need to take that out for them, first grade parents should not have to. When we're at our live Google Meets, if younger siblings are around or parents are around, at the opening and closing meets, it's not the end of the world. Your child's on mute, and so I'm teaching to them, and if there's other people in the background, it's okay because everybody's on mute. In our small group, I ask that your child be free from distractions. I am hoping to keep children off mute. Headphones would be great. That helps them stay focused. I noticed we were having some trouble hearing. I'm going to get myself a mic. You might want to mic your child, especially if they have a quiet voice. But they should be able to navigate the meets independently. If they're having a trouble with something, that's my job. I can teach them, even though obviously I can't get to them and touch them. Like today we were rolling Play-Doh letters and some of the kids were having trouble rolling, but I can show them on the computer. And even if they can't do everything correctly, the confidence they build by doing it themselves is so important. So please try to refrain from helping them. That's a huge part of kindergarten and first grade, is being at school by themselves and learning to do things independently. It's extra hard now because they're home right there and we want to help them, but please try not to as much as possible. Same thing with our ABC craft book. Everybody's doing it. First graders are doing it more independently. Kindergarten, I asked their parents to prep the book with the pre-written letters that Mrs. Stalcup typed out. First grade, I'm going to ask that they do that by themselves. Kindergarten and first grade, I'm asking that they color and cut by themselves. Some of the kindergartners will need help with part of it. You can turn the pages for them. You can maybe cut around a little bit of the hardest part if your child's struggling, but please don't do it for them. If you do it for them, you're taking away their opportunity to learn, and you're also telling them that they can't do it by themselves. They might get frustrated, but if they were in the classroom, they would figure out a way. They don't always come out pretty, but the children do get it done, and it's fun to watch the improvement. It also is going to be really fun to see the difference of the books of our kindergartners and our first graders, because we grow a lot. first grade, if you would like in the alphabet book to write their own sentence, they are welcome to, or they can use the pre-written ones as well. Just kind of a fun project, but please, please, please try to push for independence as much as you can. All right, I think that's about it. I will see you at 6:30 on Wednesday, the 26th. If anybody has any questions, and if that time for some reason doesn't work for you, feel free to email me and I'll find another time that does. All right, nice talking to everybody. Thanks for all your help this year already, and I look forward to getting to know you and your children better. Bye.